Jambo, everyone. This is Misha back with Jambo Books and our Reflecting Light series. And of course, you know, we are talking with Crystal Grimes, who is the Birth to K facilitator at the Rollins Center at the Atlanta Speech School. It's a long title. I think I may have messed up some of it, but Crystal, you can help me, right?
Absolutely. You did great. And it's so exciting to be back with you today. I am a birth to five facilitator, and I serve at the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy at the Atlanta Speech School. So you got
it. Okay, thank you. I was close.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, as you all know, we are talking about the Rollins Center Read strategy to really encourage parents to help their kids get the most out of reading, to increase their literacy and their reading comprehension. In our last talk, we talked about the R of read. And this time we're going to talk about the E of read, which is engage and enjoy. And we're going to turn it over to Crystal to tell us all about it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much again. And so you're right. We are going to just talk about what it means to engage and enjoy with the story. What kid doesn't want to have fun, right? So we really have to take a look at that a little bit further. This is where we get to become a kid again. We get to change our voice tone to match that of the characters. We get to be silly. We get to just use those gestures to really pull them in to help the child enjoy the book. We want to help to build that love of reading. And so that's what E is all about. And so I want to give maybe an example of what that could look like. I have a book here, and I'll be reading from, I don't know if you all can see it, and maybe reversed on your screen, but Amari's Big Idea, which is one of our books that the facilitators at the Rollins Center help to write. And so on this page, I'll just read from this page just to show again what that could be. It says, I made a book for him. Amari proudly handed the book to Nia. I drew pictures at the hospital in our neighborhood and in baby Jax's nursery. Nia smiled. I love it, Amari. The story will always be a reminder to us of our special community. And the community is just a group of our friends or family members. And it says, I just want you and baby Jax to know how much we care about both of you, Amari said with compassion. So I just use that as a way to show how you can just change your voice tone, how you can just engage with the book and really talk about the vocabulary in the book. One of the words I pointed out there was community. And we talked a little bit about that in our last session, how you can pat vocabulary, point to different things or act out words or maybe give a child-friendly definition of a word. And so in community, I said, that's just our group of friends or family. So it's just ways to just, again, enjoy that book and to really pull into the vocabulary and to smile and just show them, you know, what it really means to, what the characters are really trying to display with their emotions, maybe in the story or what have you. So again, you get to change your voice tone. And that particular example is with Nia in the book and with Amari. But then you also get to, if they are laughing, you get to say, ha, 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 ha. You get to just break out in the laugh to just show them it's okay to enjoy the book. So those are just little ways, something simple, but it is really profound in terms of helping, again, to build a love of reading and to allow the kids to, you know, dive deeper into the vocabulary and reading comprehension, as you mentioned before. So yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit more. What questions do you have?
Well, okay, I actually have 3 questions. I know earlier I told you 2, but as we were talking, it brought up another question for me. Someone told me once that when you are reading a book with children and there are faces in the book, that you help them by pointing out the faces and asking your child, do you know what that face means? How does that person feel? Can you talk to us about that?
Absolutely. That's a great way to, again, just engage the child in the story. So, as you said here, maybe this is Nia. And so you may just, like you said, point to her facial expression. Or you may, if you're stating a vocabulary word, then you may point to whatever the word represents. So, like her sweater. So you may point to, this is her sweater, or something like that, because we don't want to take for granted that children may not have heard the vocabulary words that we are introducing. So that's just, books are a great way to introduce vocabulary words. And then I like to share as well, that's one way, and I thank you for bringing up that question. We don't want to skip past the cover of a book either. When you were talking, it brought up a thought for me. A lot of times this cover almost reminds me of like the preview to a movie. You know how the preview.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's like the trailer.
Absolutely. The trailer, the preview. Yes, it gets us excited about what that movie is going to be about. And so in the same way, the book cover can do the same. So we want to build, excitement for that. So we may say Amari's big idea. And, these are a few people on the front of the book with her. And this is Amari, and she has a big idea. That means that's something she's thinking about. So I wonder what her big idea is. Let's read the book and find out. So it's almost like drawing the children in to get them excited about what the idea is going to be about. And so that's just something that we want to think about as we are diving into our story.
Okay, that's so helpful. Now, what about if you have a child like mine who will close the book on you while you're reading it, or will like go through the pages so fast that or try to get down? Like, how do I engage her?
Absolutely. Let me show you what you could do if that happens. You're reading the book. Your child is trying to close the book or get down. Guess what you can do? Close the book and put it down and follow their lead. We want to be responsive to the children's needs. We can always come back to this book.
Okay.
We can read it later.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We said it with the R. We want to repeat books. So guess what? We are going to see the book again. We may read it tomorrow or next week or what have you, and that's okay. Maybe they would prefer a song at that moment. So maybe if we're talking about feelings, maybe we can sing a song about feelings once they close the book. Maybe that will just help, and it will, you haven't totally let go of what you're talking about with the book. So if you were talking about feelings in the book, the song will just help with that, and it will help to be a connector for when you pick the book back up later. So I would say follow the lead of the child. It is okay. The book will be there and we can pick it up at a later time.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. That is so nice because, as a parent, you feel like, I'm reading you this book. You're going to get these vocabulary words. You sit here and you enjoy it.
Right. No. It's okay. It'll probably take stress off of the child and us as the parents, right? Just put the book down. It's okay.
Pick it up. Wow, did you hear that, parents? We are allowed to be child-led sometimes.
Yes. Absolutely. Please do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my last question for you is from a parent's point of view. What if, as a parent, for whatever reason, I don't really like reading out loud? Maybe I'm still traumatized from having to read out loud as a child, or I have a learning disability, or maybe English is not my first language. What do you suggest those parents do to, continue to engage and enjoy books with their kids?
Absolutely. Great questions. And so first, with my coaching hat on, I'm going to encourage us as the adults to dig into what those feelings are, right? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we have feelings about a particular topic or concern, and we project our feelings onto our children. So I'm going to invite us to just think more deeply about that. Why am I a little hesitant about reading? What is it about the experience that maybe makes me sad, that maybe I need to talk about or explore a little bit more? And then from there, we are of course going to encouraging reading here, right? So as we explore that and really unpack that a bit, we can still encourage a love for reading. There are books, several books out. I'm going to reach down because I have it right here. I'm sorry. So we have another book in our Amari series from the Rollins Center. And this one, as you can see, is in Spanish. I'm not sure if you can see, it's probably backwards on your screen, but it's in Spanish. So lean towards books that are in your home language. We encourage the use of your home language because you probably have more vocabulary in your home language. If you invited me to have a conversation with you right now in Spanish, I'm going to say, hola. And that's about all I've got, right? A couple of words, but that's about it. And I'm done. But in my home language, which is English, I'm going to have a whole conversation with you, an entire conversation. Hi, how are you? How was your day today? Tell me about the kids. I'm going to go much further with vocabulary using my home language. So we want to encourage books in the home language. Conversations are super important. So book reading is important, but we know nowadays there's so many different ways that we can explore books, whether it's along with technology or what have you. There's so many ways. And so a lot of times it's the book reading, but it's also the language around the book that is super important. So I would just encourage us to continue to have those conversations around the stories, and lean towards books that are in home language. And like I said, get underneath those issues that are near and dear to our hearts that maybe we are, like you said, maybe traumatized by, or maybe we are struggling with from childhood. I think that's super important for any area of focus, whether it is reading or any other life issue, for us to explore that a bit so that we don't project our emotions onto another.
Thank you so much for that. And just really giving parents the permission to think about themselves as well in this whole process. That's really, really wonderful. And for uplifting home languages, because everyone's home language isn't English. Absolutely. And so thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Well, we have certainly enjoyed this installment of Reflecting the Light with you, Crystal, and we are looking forward to more conversations. Y'all, we are only at R&E. We've got A, D to do, plus some extras. So please join us next time. Thank you so much, Crystal, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.